Today I'm going to be doing my nails for Valentine's Day, another Valentine's look, and I'm so excited because I'm going to be trying some new products, but also I am doing a full manicure with tips. So instead of just using my natural nails and making them longer, I'm going to use gel extensions. These are a new product release from Cocoist. They also came out with a new like gel adhesion product to like adhere these to your nails. So I'm going to explain everything as I'm using them. I went to Japan a few months ago and a lot of women had coffin-shaped nails, and I thought they were just so cool, and I really wanted to try out that shape on myself. It's kind of like an oval nail, but the top is more flat. So you definitely need a lot of length to be able to do this on your natural nail. And I have really short nails right now, so I figured it's the perfect time to add some length with these extensions. Also, if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would subscribe. I'm doing weekly videos this month and hopefully every month from now on, but I really focus on nail education and fun nail art and like vlogs showing you how to do nails if you're a professional or a DIYer. I am a nail tech and an educator, and I absolutely love doing nails and trying fun products and fun nail art. Also, they sent me this little card about what's new with the Jellop, so I'll just explain it really quickly. So these are full cover extensions that you can put on your nail. They're made out of a plastic called ABS plastic, which is a super like thin, flexible plastic that makes your nails look really realistic, even though you are literally putting a cover on top of them. So these are not like press-ons. I've used press-ons before that just like feel thick and they look fake. This is designed to look as natural as possible, and they actually changed the formula a little bit so that it does look even more natural. So it's not one thickness throughout the entire tip. It's actually super thin at the base of the Jellop, and I'm gonna explain how to apply it so that it blends in with your nail and looks as natural as possible. And then the tip is actually thicker so that it's more durable and so it doesn't pop off. Just like really thoughtfully designed so that they actually last on your nails. And one of my favorite things about this is, I just dropped it. Whatever. One of my favorite things about these nails is that you can actually fill them. So you're spending all this extra time putting them on right now. You don't have to soak them off the next time you're redoing your nails. You can actually do a fill like you would with any other Cocoist gel, like semi-hard gel product. So that's really exciting that you can kind of continue to have that length. You can, of course, soak it off if you want to, but you don't have to. Okay, another difference is instead of the size being like microscopic up near the tip, it's actually like a larger print in the middle of the nail now, and it will fully disappear when you add your base gel. So you don't have to worry about the like 2 or whatever number it is showing through, which is nice. And then you know like, oh, I need a 2 for my thumb. You can easily see the sizes in all of the on all of the tips. And the box actually is really nice because it comes with like each individual size with like its own opener. They sent me the oval long, which is like one of the most popular shapes. And then the new shapes are short square and then short coffin. They also added a new size, so there's now a 00, which is like a wider size, and it will fit if you have a wider nail. Lastly, another new release from them is the Super Jellop Bond, which is the gel that you use to adhere the tips to your nails. So this is like a thicker formula. You still have to make sure it flows and like covers the nail completely, but it just sounds a lot easier. And I don't really love doing extensions on myself because I find that the application process is kind of difficult. So I'm excited to try this and see if it really is a lot easier. But yeah, let's get into it. Now that you know everything that's new about these products, I'm excited to try these. And also, just a disclaimer, this is not sponsored at all. I am an affiliate with Cocoist and an educator with them, so I just love trying all their products so that I like know how to use them and I can like help anybody that's interested in using them and provide advice on how to use the products and, you know, give my opinions. But this is not sponsored at all. They just send it to me to try if I want to, and I do. And I'm excited to try it. So let's go and do our nails now. I'm really sad to take off these nails that I did for Palm Springs. They're like chrome Valentine's Day nails. I love them so much. Make sure if you haven't seen the video of me doing these nails yet to go watch that. I posted it before this one, but say goodbye to these cute nails. I love them. All right, so I'm doing my removal right now, and my goal for this removal is to pretty much get rid of all of the layers of my manicure except for a thin layer of my base coat. So to explain a little bit more, I'm removing that 3D art with the sequins in it, and then I start to remove the top coat and then the chrome and the color gel. And then once I hit my builder gel, I just want to debulk it and leave a thin layer of the base gel left over. So I'm not fully removing my builder gel, like I said, I'm just leaving a thin layer and removing that previous apex. I especially want to make sure that I have a very thinned out nail for this manicure, because you don't want to have a bulky apex on your nail still when you're applying extensions, because that will just make it really hard for the extension to actually adhere on your nail, and it will just add unnecessary bulk, and we want these to look as natural as possible. Now that my removal is done, I can move on to cuticle work. I really like pushing the cuticles back with my cuticle pusher first, and you can start to see some of the cuticle actually coming off with this tool. So any of those like white kind of flaky looking bits, that's cuticle, and we really want to start removing that because gel cannot really adhere very well to it. And if any of those little dry cuticle bits start to flake or lift off of the nail while the gel is over the top, it can cause the gel to lift too. I always take it one step further by using my e-file bit to remove the cuticle, and you can actually see how much cuticle is really coming off when I use this tool too. It's crazy because cuticle is like invisible. It just grows up on your nail and you really don't even see it until you start to remove it. So I'm always just so surprised by how much cuticle comes off when I use my e-file bit. I'm also just using this to kind of exfoliate any dead skin around my sidewalls too. It's just the best. I love this process so much. And seriously, look how much cuticle is coming up on this. It's amazing. My other goal for this step is to kind of lift up that dead skin around my nails. And whatever is dead or dry will just kind of stand up, and it's super easy to clip off, and this does not cause any pain because I'm only clipping off what is dead. I always get comments that you shouldn't be cutting cuticle or live skin, and I'm not cutting my live skin. This is all dead skin that I lifted up, so this does not cause any pain. There's no chance of infection because I'm literally just cutting off the dry stuff. This is also just so satisfying, and it really is the key, I think, to having like those Instagram or Pinterest worthy nails. The really precise cuticle work just makes your nails look so nice and polished. I also like to use an exfoliating ball with the e-file too. That just really helps prevent any hangnails from coming back after doing that cuticle work. Whenever I use the e-file to remove my manicure, it leaves behind just a little bit of uneven surface, so I like to kind of buff it with my file. This is also a good time to remove any lifted gel, and also just to gently exfoliate the surface of your nails to make sure that it is fully matte and scratchy so that the gel can adhere as best as possible. And the last step is cleansing super well with isopropyl alcohol. And here's what my nails look like before prep, and here is what they look like after, and they look so much better and manicured, and they're ready for my gel extensions. So first step is to size your extensions, and with these you want to make sure that they fit from sidewall to sidewall, and if any of them are a little too big, you can actually file them to make more of a custom fit. I didn't have to do that for every single tip, but I did do it to a couple. So I just cleaned all of them off with a little bit of isopropyl alcohol on my lint-free wipe, just to get rid of any oils that were left behind from kind of handling them and sizing them. And now that they are all sized out, we can get to applying the gel lips. The very first step is to apply a thin coat of base gel. I'm using Cocoaist Mega Stick Base here. So this step is pretty basic. You just want to do a thin layer and cure it. This will help the super gel lip bond flow into place so that the gel lip can adhere. So the super gel lip bond is a thicker, super adhesive polish that we're going to use to adhere the gel lips. The gel lip tips are actually pre-etched, so I recommend just applying a little bit of this right over that pre-etched area. And then you just gently scrape off whatever is left onto the gel lip. You place it a little bit above your cuticle and kind of roll it forward so that that gel can flow all the way up the nail. Once you're happy with how that's applied, you can go ahead and cure it. I don't have an automatic flash curing lamp, so I actually took off the base of my regular lamp and I placed it at the edge of my desk so that once I was happy with how my nails looked, I could just put it underneath the light and it would automatically start to cure. I'm doing another application video for these gel lips that is way more in depth on my Substack. If you're interested, I'll have the link down below so that you can go watch that. This video was getting really long otherwise, and I wanted to keep things moving. So if you want to learn even more about the application, and also I have so many really in-depth tutorial videos on my Substack, be sure to go check that out. I officially have all the tips applied to my nails, and now it's time to kind of make some touch-ups and refine these. Like I said, you apply it a little bit above your cuticle, so we have to blend the cuticle area, and I also just buffed the surface of all of them so that the next gel layers would adhere better. I definitely made a couple of mistakes. I think that applying gel extensions on yourself is a little bit tricky. And this is actually my first time applying gel extensions on all 10 of my fingers. I've used these before for like fixing a broken nail or like repairing a damaged nail, but I've never done it on all of my fingers. So it was definitely a little tricky at times. There's a little bit of a learning curve, but overall it wasn't too bad. Now that all of the tips are blended and prepped and cleansed again, this is when you want to apply a layer of builder gel to reinforce the length and keep your nails really strong. The gel ups already have a nice apex, so you really don't need to like build with the builder gel like you normally would on top of a natural nail. But I did do a little bit of a thicker layer towards the bottom base of my nails near the cuticle area just to make sure that I further blended in the tip so that it looked really natural. I was seriously amazed at these. Like, my nails are so long and I love this shape. I was already just getting so excited. Okay, time for art, and I love this art so much. It's so easy and it turned out so cool. I'm starting out by using Cocoa's Icy Clear Water Magnet Gel. This is one of my favorite ones because it's so subtle. It looks a little bit silvery in the bottle, but once you put it on, and especially once you start activating it with the magnet, it really is like a barely noticeable magnet gel. Like, it looks clear in some lights, and then some lights you're like, oh my God, there's the magnet gel, and it's so pretty. I just love this. I thought this was a fun video, so I had to add it. This nail art is all about dimensions and layering. So on top of the magnet gel, I'm using this really glassy sheer, almost like berry hot pink color called Spritzer. I kind of forgot that this color exists, and I just was searching for like this perfect berry hot pink, and this was literally the color of my dreams, and I'm so glad that I already had it in my collection. And I can't believe I forgot about it. I could have ended the manicure here and been happy, but I had this idea of doing some 3D squiggles and adding chrome on top. So that's what we're doing. And I'm using the Cocoa's Non-Wipe Accessory Bond, which is a non-wipe clear gel, but it's a little bit thicker. So when you add texture through it, like I'm doing here with this like wispy brush, it'll actually stay like that. And it's just a very cool texture. And since it's a non-wipe polish, chrome adheres to it really, really well. And I'm not using just any old regular chrome. I'm using liquid mirror chrome. And this is the color Peacock, and I think it just really accentuates the pink underneath. I feel like it makes it look like a little bit of a brighter pink, and it also gives it some like golden hues to it too. I just love this combo. I think it's really cool. So the key to making this liquid mirror chrome work is to only cure the non-wipe accessory bond for like 10 to 15 seconds. And then I use a makeup sponge and dab the chrome onto it. And then I go ahead and dab it onto my nails. So I don't actually apply the chrome directly onto my nails. I do it on the sponge and then buff that into the nail. And I worked like 2 nails at a time because you don't want the non-wipe accessory bond to like cool off too much, or else the chrome might not adhere or stick quite as well. Liquid chrome is essentially just chrome powder that's mixed with alcohol, and as we know, alcohol is very drying, and so I like to actually rub it with this like little glasses cleaner wipe and a little bit of cold water, and when you rub it, it kind of gives you that more mirror-like finish because it rubs off any of the dryness left behind with the alcohol. One of my favorite things about this manicure is it looks like it would be bumpy and textured, but I'm actually using my favorite top coat, the Ultra Glossy Non-Wipe Top Coat from Cocoa's, which is a bit of a thicker top coat, and it's really easy to kind of build the structure with. And you apply this in a nice even layer, and then I kind of like float a bead through it so that it evens out and really fills in all of that texture. And what you're left with is a super smooth, nicely structured nail. So there's no texture, you don't feel any texture, and I feel like it looks really cool. It's kind of like an optical illusion because it looks textured and it looks really interesting, but it feels like a super smooth, normal nail. I also recommend flipping your hand over after you apply the top coat like you would with builder gel, because it will help the volume of the gel kind of flow towards the middle of the nail, which will help with the structure and just making sure that it fills in all of that texture. Since we did so many layers, I'm finishing with a quick little finish file. This isn't really gonna help with lifting or anything since these are extensions, but it will just make sure that the shape is nice and crispy. And we're getting towards the end of the manicure, but I needed to add some hydration back in. I washed my hands really well to get off any extra chrome powder, and now I'm just hydrating with some cocoa cuticle oil that I'm obsessed with, and then some lotion too. And a little behind the scenes tip, if you want really nice looking nails for photos or videos, after you hydrate, wipe your nails super well with isopropyl alcohol to get rid of any oil or grease, because that actually makes your nails look really dull. But yeah, this is the final look and I am obsessed. I love how much dimension all of the different layers of this manicure give it. It's very subtle with the magnet glitter, but it just kind of makes the chrome and the texture on top pop. And I had to show you a video with my flash on because I feel like you can really see the shiftiness of the magnet glitter once you shine that light on it. And I just love how these turned out. I really, really love them. There's definitely an adjustment to having this length of nails. Like, taking out my contacts is quite hard, but I think it's a really fun option if you ever want to add length quickly to your nails. And I highly recommend these gel lips because they feel really realistic and they're just super comfortable to wear, and they're really easy to use too. Thank you as always for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe and let me know down below if you have any questions, and I'll see you next week for another new video.